Hello everybody, Joe Begadons here. Welcome back for another episode of Full Metal Demon Muramasa. Second time starting this recording, my power just went out in the middle of my recording, and the footage is unusable. OBS didn't properly close because it was an instant power outage, so the footage didn't get compressed properly. Premiere doesn't read it, can't open it in VLC. Pretty much just corrupted data. I didn't get too far in. I got to like the night following this, which is like 20-30 minutes. Bit annoying that I have to do it again, but it is what it is. You know, can't go back in time and undo, you know, whatever the fuck that was. It was a quick little power bump too. It was like only a minute. Like I had enough time to get up from my desk, go downstairs to my breaker box, take a look. Nothing was tripped. Came back upstairs, and then the power was coming back on. Probably just like a squirrel fucking stepped on a transformer while also on a power line and just fucking exploded. I don't know. The joys of being on a big interconnected power grid. Not as bad as it was, God, I think it was 2 years ago now. Like, a transformer on my street exploded on the power line. Like, I was just playing modded Oblivion or whatever, then all of a sudden, bang! Then the lights flicker, and then they went out, and then everything went out. I stick my head outside. All my neighbors are also sticking their heads outside. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Alright, let's go. Let's find Ritsu. When I get to school tomorrow, Ritsu will be there. I know it. It'll be like nothing happened. Also, time for me to remake all the jokes I did before. Haha, what is this? Some kind of DL Dojin game thing from DL site? Says the person that came up with the idea. Oh man, I can see you now. I think I might cry. Rich is not there tomorrow. Then we'll look for her. We're the only ones who can. Cops aren't worth shit. Oh, you know, it's cold, you know, saving electricity instead of turning on a space heater. You can sleep outside the door on the ground.
声だけでそこまで可愛さを演出するお前の才能には脱帽するし、正直憎いくらいだが、複雑な形で絡み合っていく俺たちの両足がより強烈に何かを語っているとは思わないか。
What, not a fan of the submission holds? Exhibit A. Yay.
私気づいたの。あなたとこうしている時が一番落ち着くんだ。
Alright, so you're hard dom. Noted.
どうして？
病気だよ。
Save me. Prisoner 048. Charges: murder, 11 counts. Parricide, 1 count. I googled it before. That's kind of a catch-all for murder of like a parent or a close relative. Because I was unfamiliar with the term. I knew like patricide, matricide, all those sides, but not that one. From Kamakura Chief of Police to Kanto District Jail. By imperial decree, prisoner 048 is to be released forthwith.
0485釈放だ。
Honestly, seen worse jail cells. At least has a little wooden screen there, so that way, you know, no one has to see you drop a load. Ritsu's not at school the next day, nor at home, nor anywhere else. Now it's getting serious. Disappearances aren't all that rare in Kanto these days, but it's different when it happens to someone you know. We only saw Suzukawa from morning homeroom. I hear he spent all day between Ritsu's house, the principal's office, and the police station. I caught sight of him marching rapidly through the halls several times, his expression always grim. Probably filed a missing persons report with the police. Of course, there's no way Suzukawa or Ritsu's parents expect anything to come of that. It's just something to lift their spirits a little, like tossing a few coins into the offering box at the shrine. I'll be impressed if the cops pretend to investigate. More likely, they'll just jot down some bullshit in a ledger and that'll be the end of it. These past few years, I haven't heard a single story of the police doing their duty, whether it's finding a lost kitten or catching a murderer. All their resources are apparently devoted to helping the shogunate hunt down rebels and root out dissidents, which makes them little more than Rokuhara henchmen. In other words, they're worth less than shit. So, we've got to take things into our own hands.
こっちじゃないみたいだね。常盤まで降りてきて宮野さんの店を覗かないっていうのはちょっと考えにくいよ。
他に何もないよな。
少なくとも律にとって面白いものはね。
となると駅方面か北鎌か。
I mutter, unfurling a map of the city in my head. I take Tadayasu-san's agreement. We begin by tracing Ritsu's steps from when she and Tadayasu split up 2 nights ago. She gets around, but this is her hometown, and she tends to stand out. Yeah, the vulgar Ojo-sama is not a very common archetype. Should be impossible for a couple amateur detectives to track her down. I mean, it shouldn't be impossible for a couple amateur detectives to track her down, provided we're willing to put in the legwork. We've already made some progress. Kunatsu's off questioning Ritsu's friends. They're mostly girls, so we figured it'd be better if we didn't tag along. Here's the train station. The train network is the lifeblood of Kanto. But of course, we regular Joes don't get much use out of it. Not since Rokuhara came to power anyway. Today, the railway is used mostly for shogunate business. While it is possible for civilians to use it, the price of a ticket is absurd. Better to take a ship if you want to go to Edo or I messed this up before too. I said Shunpu. It's not. It's Sunpu. There's no H in there. It's slower than the train, but way cheaper and more reliable. All of which make it hard to imagine that Ritsu left Kamakura on a train. But that's not why we're here.
さて、どっから当たったもんかな。
多すぎて困るね。
Now we hit our first roadblock. Like most train stations, except those for purely military use, Kamakura Station is surrounded by shops and entertainment. We've got bars, theaters, restaurants, all the places Ritsu loves to go. It's going to be impossible to search all of them.
金のかかる場所は除外できるよな。
バカの集会所見たくなってるところも行く必要はないね。
あいつバカは嫌いだからな。バカだから。
Really, in my experience, the idiots and the crazies are the same person.
バカだからね。
Well, it's not easy keeping up with Ritsu's insane whims. At least she's got some basic humanity, which is more than I can say for some
つ
people.
まり上と下は切って普通のとこだけを探せばいいってことだな。
一番多いカテゴリーだね。
それでもいくらかマシだろ。
So, our impossible task is now merely Herculean.
もう少し的を絞ってみない？
できるものならぜひ。
どこへ向かうにしたってこの辺りは必ず通るよ。ここで聞き込みしてみよう。うまくすればどっち方面に行ったかくらいはわかるかもしれない。
ここでか。
I look around. Tadayasu's suggestion makes sense, but
通行人を片っ端から捕まえて聞くのか？
you can't see it in this background, but it's a very lively station square. Just use your imagination, people.
それは無駄だね。ここを通り過ぎる人ではなくってここに留まっている人に聞かないと。
駅員？
Could have at least added like the sound effect of like hustle and bustle of like, a busy place.
駅員は駅の中しか見てないんじゃないかな。
Oh, and speaking of sounds, I also did lower down the background volume, the background music to 50% in the game. So hopefully it's less loud this time. Like I said, the funnest part of starting a new series is balancing all the audio levels properly.
交番？
気持ちよく寝ているみたいだよ。彼が一昨日の夜だけは真面目に働いていた可能性にかけてみる？
もう少し勝ち目のある勝負がいいな。
日が落ちたら店は畳むね。普通。
That's just not me fishing for like, I don't know, interaction statistics on the YouTube algorithm. Like, no, actually, let me know.
結局どうしろと？
あれなんかどうかな？
with the giant double bass looking cello. It's how many strings? That has 6 strings. I thought you know, double bass only had like 5. Actually gonna check a picture. Because, as I said, I think I said it last episode, I used to play the cello as a kid. I messed up all the tendons in my left hand doing it. The cello. Yeah, cello only has 4. And double bass? Also, only has like 4. Interesting. I've seen like 6-string basses before for like people playing bands, like an electric bass, but never like a acoustic one. It is then that I first realize it. Not that the woman is present, but that I've been listening to her performance this whole time. I follow Tadayasu's gaze, and there she is, coaxing notes from the instrument cradle in her arms like a lover, or perhaps a child. The sound is deep and throaty, yet gentle, like the faint wind rustling branches in the darkest reaches of an ancient forest. The wind caresses no man's skin, and so the sound reaches no man's ears. Not one pedestrian stops to listen to her play. She's alone, an island in the current of life. None will remember hearing her music, but later, perhaps the next day, tomorrow the next day, they'll find themselves humming a mysterious tune and wondering where it came from. But I have taken notice, and so I am captivated by the beauty of her melody.
お前よく見つけられたな。
そうだね。
I mean, it's a real big instrument, hard not to take notice.
不思議だな。よく見るとあんなに華やかな人なのに、なんで少し目を離すだけで途端にひっそりとするんだろう。
It's like the music that plays in like big department stores when you're walking around when they're not just playing like, I don't know, the top 100 hits from like the 2000s or whatever. You know, the kind that's supposed to, that you're not supposed to think about when you hear it. It just kind of fades into the background. Tadayasu's absolutely right. At a glance, it is obvious that the narrow-eyed woman possesses exceptional beauty. Her hair trails in shimmering waves down her back, enveloping her body like a gown of fine silk. She cannot possibly but make... Words, they're hard. It's my second time reading this too, I should be better at this. She cannot possibly but make her presence known amid the rabble, and yet, at a distance, she melts into the background.
ああいう人を探してみていたから気づけたんだろうな。
I'm just gonna blame it that I bit my lip in my sleep last night, and I'm like the inside of like my lower lip's all swollen, and I keep hitting it and it hurts.
ああいう人？
路上で芸を見せる人。そういう人なら結構遅くまでいると思って。けど、あの人が芸人さんかどうかは疑問だね。
そりゃそうだな。
Yeah, normally they're playing like a lively tune to get people's attention. Can't do business if no one notices you. It's a shame, since her music is definitely worth shelling out for. I guess there's no harm in asking. Tadayasu and I exchange a nod, then walk up to the woman. A hand appears in front of my face.
あれ？
Without speaking a word, the elderly woman urges us to silence. That's fine by me. What I want to know is...
この人どこから出てきた？
she's short. Just hit under your line of sight.
いやー、どこだろう。僕も気づかなかったよ。
Side by side with the well-dressed musician, she looks exactly like a faithful servant accompanying her wealthy mistress. Her tuxedo is plain, is of high quality, and she has no real distinguishing features to speak of, at least compared to the beauty besides her. Perhaps that's why we didn't notice her at first. While Tadayasu and I are still trying to make sense of things, the performance comes to an end. As the last notes trail off, the old lady bows gracefully and steps back to make room for her mistress. The young woman looks up, brushes her hair out of her eyes, and meets my gaze. At that moment, I'm struck by a horribly conceited, absurdly foolish notion. I have this woman's unconditional love. This is a delusion, of course, as any sane person would tell me. I'd have to be out of my mind to think that a woman I've only just met, and moreover, one who puts most models to shame, would feel anything for me. Ah, but her eyes. She looks at me with such boundless affection. Can I be blamed for wanting to believe?
Oh.
I open my mouth, hoping that conversation will dispel my madness.
の
But nothing comes out. I don't know what to say. What am I doing? Why did we come here again?
夕日どうしたの？勃起してるよ。
せめて顔が赤いとか言え。
だったんですか？
But is it true though?
うわ聞かれてる、もうダメだ。
I try to make a run for it, but the old lady is suddenly right in front of me. With an encouraging smile, she seizes my shoulders, spins me around, and pushes me back to my original position. You clearly had a question. You better go ask it. The woman's gaze has not changed.
夕日、友情が重いよ。
Yeah, that's sibling love, alright.
今のは混じり気なしの殺意だ、バカ野郎。
I rose by any other name, bud. At least the shock has restored me to sanity. Not that I'm grateful or anything.
はい。
少しお伺いしたいことが。すいません。俺この辺に住んでる学生で、新田優飛って言います。
はい。
She nods, and then
ゆうひさん。
she speaks my name as though it was the most precious thing in the world. Be still, my beating heart.
こっちは稲木忠康。
You can forget about him, though.
稲
He's
木
not
です
important.
ところでさっきから夕日がおかしいのは別に気候壁ではなく綺麗なお姉さんを前にして浮かれてるだけなんですよとフォローしてあげたりする友情覇王だったり。
Who is they? The voices in your head?
お前もう帰れ。
はい。友情覇王さん。
はーい、こっちで覚えてもらえたよ夕日。
Great success. You're an idiot.
それでお姉さんはここで演奏をしている人なんですよね。
夕日、その言い方だとまるで他に習性のない動物みたいだよ。
つまり
ここで毎日演奏して生計を立てている人なのかという。
はいそうです。
CPU の性能差が如実に知れる会話だな。
I'm surprised you know what a CPU is. Considering it's like the 40s, but, you know, different timeline, they have flying robots. He's right, and I hate him for it.
残念ですが、私は鎌倉には来たばかりですの。ここでこの子を弾くのは今日が初めてです。
A little off
そうな
topic,
んで
but
すか。
why are you playing?
残念だね夕日。
こら。
You trying to make her feel bad?
申し訳ありません。お役に立てなかったようです。
いえこっちの都合ですから。
As I feared, the woman looks crestfallen. I race to put her mind at ease.
別に大したことではないので。
それは結構ひどい言い草じゃん。
A thumb in the kidney stops him from finishing.
そうですか。ではせめて道を示して差し上げましょう。
道を
The metaphorical way or like the literal way?
あら、申し遅れました。私は
Or the way? She plucks a string on her instrument as though in greeting.
ご覧の通り、
はい。
流しの占い師です。
助手でございます。
Do
So
most
楽器
fortune
は
tellers have assistants?
大螺旋交差演奏法による占いを得意としておりまして、
That's a cult.
鬼のようなうさんくささですね。
説明いたしますと、
いえいいです別に。なんかその辺聞くとドツボにはまるような気が。
Okay, but what are there like really shiny
お
rocks?
嬢様、それは企業秘密でございます。
そうでした。企業秘密を守らなくては、占い業界から
It's
資
like
格でも
the
放たれては
it's
大
like the
変です
trade
もの
union
ね。
for like stage magicians. If you tell the secrets, they come and break your kneecaps.
教習突撃専用占い師が襲ってくるやもしれませんな。
根本的なところでいろいろとおかしいって指摘してあげたらどうだい夕日。
We're just rolling with the punches. You do it.
では、あなたの未来を占って差し上げます。
すいません。あんまり変な方法で占いとかしてほしくないっていうか、むしろそういうのは呪いの仲間なんじゃないかって思うんですけど、その辺どうなんでしょ
Too late.
見えます。
The wheel of fate is already in motion.
う。なんとなく分かっていましたけど無視なんですね。つうか楽器を使うなら見えるんじゃなくて聞こえるんじゃないですか。
その悟った横顔素敵だよ夕日。
黙れ。
夕日さん。
The fortune teller calls my name. Her demeanor is suddenly grave.
あなたには運命が待ち構えています。
ああ、運命ですか？
Yep. I figured as much. You can't be a fortune teller without a fate to foretell.
してお嬢様、その運命とは。
わいせつ行為を繰り返した挙句逮捕されると、僕はモテモテ、どんな女も簡単に落ちる、みんなには王子様と呼ばれていたなどと供述したりする運命が待っているのです。
嫌だよそんな
Such
運
a
命。
such a cursed fate. Nope, you're stuck with it. No re-rolls.
夕日、僕たち学校を卒業しても友達だけど。
You're gonna have to delete your account and make a new one in order to, re-roll your starting gacha again.
鵜呑みにしてしかも見捨てるんじゃねえ。
I was right. It was cursed.
安心してください。逃れる方法が一つだけあります。
With 10 easy payments of $99.99, you too can escape your fate
壺を買えとか言うんじゃないでしょう
with
ね。
this magical mineral water.
この鎌倉にいる限り、運命からは逃れられません。
え？
鎌倉を離れることです。新田夕日さん。一日も早く、今、これからにでも。ご家族に相談なさい。きっと理解してくれます。
いや、離れるったって、そんな急に。
さよ。
You're being threatened.
は、
The old lady steps forward and presents a piece of paper with both hands.
これ、
乗車券だね。
And not just any train ticket, an unlimited first class train ticket. I thought I was hallucinating, but no such luck. With the ticket staring me in the face, I could get the royal suite on any train line in Yamato for the next 6 months. It's the most expensive kind of ticket there is, one you'll never see go for less than 50 grand. About 3 months' pay for an entry-level civil servant.
冗談でしょ？
お使いください。そのつもりがあるの
I
な
was
ら
about to say I'm surprised all the train lines except one ticket, but then again, they did mention Rokoharu is in charge of all the train networks, so it's all nationalized. So of course they would accept one single ticket. The woman is smiling. Still, she has always been smiling from the moment the first notes of her instrument touched my ears. This is a joke, then so is everything that came before it, even that beautiful melody.
夕日、
Tadayasu tries to pull me away, but I shake him off. He's trying to help me. That much I know. Don't worry, man. I've got this.
占い師さん、
はい。
あなたがどうしてこんなことをするのか、正直さっぱりわからないです。
Mm-hmm.
でも、あなたが本当に俺を心配してくれてるのはわかりました。ありがとうございます。
Appreciate it, but if it's such a cursed, horrible fate, well, it's still mine, so I bow deeply.
でも、これはお返しします。
なぜ？
受け取る理由がないとか、そういうことじゃないんです。けど、少なくとも今はダメです。
Yeah,
俺には
we still
ここ
got
でやる
side
ことがあ
quests
り
to
ます
do
から。
here.
それは大切なことなのですか？
はい。
そのためにあなたが本当に
Yeah, there's some really
過酷
meta
な
items
運命
we
に
can
飲ま
get
れ
if we
るとして
complete
も
all of them before leaving
捨
the
てられ
starting
ないほ
town.
ど。
はい。俺が今やらなくてはならないのは、仲間を助けることですから。それが原因で俺に何かがあっても、その時は仲間が俺を助けてくれます。
Spoken like a hero true. What a protagonist thing to say. I hope nothing bad ever happens to those friends of yours. The woman falls silent, her expression unreadable, and then, without warning, she plucks another string.
大回転爆裂炎上法が示した運命。
Sounds like a fancy name for the sun, but go on.
あれ、ちょっと変わったような。
If by literally you mean completely, then yeah.
私に見えるのは夕日さんがそれに巻き込まれるところまで。その先は分かりません。運命に勝つか負けるか。
Well, that's like all
あなた次第です。
fortune telling, Well, at least the way a lot of fortune tellers describe it, it's just they're just searing into the future, It's not set in stone yet. It's nebulous. So, if you give them $5 for this cool talisman, you can avoid your fate, or ignore them and fall victim to it.
親切げな顔をして不吉なことばかり申し上げてしまいましたね。どうかお許しを。今日のことは忘れてくださいまし。
そんななんて言ったらいいかわかんないですけど、ほんと迷惑なんかじゃなかったです。お姉さんのことは忘れません。
Yeah, that ticket's like really expensive.
忘れたくないです。
You could just take it and then, stand in front of the station and scalp someone for it.
ありがとうございます。
Not the like plains warfare kind of scalping, but the overcharge for like PS5s on Amazon scalping. The corners of her eyes lower as she smiles, and her porcelain cheeks redden slightly like ripe peaches. Damn, she's really beautiful.
いやー、なんか僕はおおむね蚊帳の外でしたけど楽しかったですよ。演奏も良かったし、これつまらないものですがお礼です。
あらあら、どうも。
Tadayasu hands the woman a juice pack. He must have bought it while we were talking. Sometimes I wish I could be so carefree.
さよ。
はい。
ではお二方、私どもはこれで。
失礼いたします。
The supposed fortune teller gently nods, and her supposed assistant delivers a bow. And then the two take their leave. I watch them melt into the crowd.
印象的な人たちだったね。
そうだな。
I know I'll never forget the mysterious, yet ever so caring woman I met today. Goodbye. I forgot to say it to her face, so I whispered into my heart. The last thing I see before she vanishes completely from sight is her holding her hand to her mouth, almost as if she were crying.
忠康、
なんだい？
お前が渡したあれ
The
なんだ？
Capri Sun he found on the ground.
あれ？実は密かにブームらしくて、そこの売店でも売ってた 100% 天然
So good
芋
it'll
サ
bring
イ
a
ダ
tear
ー。
to your eye.
踊りゃ
It's got plenty of essential vitamins in it, It's good for you.
お嬢様。
I
あ
think
れ
of
で
some
よろ
people
し
have
かっ
like
た
a
ので
glass
す
of
か？
apple cider vinegar,
Eh?
Doesn't taste the best, but supposedly it's good for you.
シシク殿の指先はおそらくもう間近まで迫っておりましょ
それでも、彼の運命は彼が選ぶものです。
う。まさしく。
私にできるのは、運命を示して差し上げること。
So that's a really tight strap on her shoulder for that carrying case I just realized.
ほ
It's
んの
like
少し、
just enough to get her
手助けをして
arm
差し上げ
into
る
the hole. Like, you're gonna get a bruise on your shoulder from carrying it like that.
さようでございますね。
急ぎましょう、さよ。そろそろ本業に戻らなくては。
はい。
それと、
はあ。
この新たな味覚の開拓に惜しく挑戦して、
No.
華々しく散った英雄的
Don't
ド
want to
リ
get
ン
mono.
ク、
You've already had
飲み
some.
ませんかと？
断じて結構でございます。
All right, I got to like
と
right
いうわ
here
けで、
when my power died. So now we're on to the new stuff for me.
リツは竹林のあたりまでは帰ってきていたらしいんだよ。
弁天様の近くの竹林よね。
They were talking about porn mags, and then my power went out.
うん。
At the end of the day, we gathered in my room to discuss our findings. It has to be my place. Natsu won't like guys in her room, of course, and we always feel like we're imposing when we go to Tadayasu's house. Not that he understands why.
夕日、卑猥な雑誌はちゃんと奥にしまっておいてよ。恥ずかしいな。
しまってあるよ、適当言うな。
Hook, line,
しま
and
ってある
sinker.
の？
なあ、墓穴掘ったね、夕日。
Yeah, but you're the one who pushed him into the hole. You're the one with the shovel.
話を元に戻します。足跡をたどれたのは竹林までだ。その先は分からなかった。
その先って言っても、もうリツの家は
Well,
目
at
と
least now
鼻
you
の
have like
先
a
なんだけ
quest
どね。
marker on the map you can go to.
すごいじゃない。一日でよくそこまでわかったね。
Go there and use your Batman detective
自分でも
vision
結構
to
驚
find
いてる。
clues. After we said goodbye to the ladies at the station, our investigation suddenly picked up steam. By nightfall, we had learned that Ritsu visited several stores near the station before heading home.
でも不思議だよね。あの竹林に入ったら、あとは住宅地方面に出るしかないはずなんだけど。
そっちでは目撃されてなかったんだよな。
竹林に入ったのは確かなの？
手前の飲み屋通りで聞けた。一昨日の夜に入っていくのを見たって人が何人かいる。
Into the grove. Is there like a path that cuts through it, or did she just like start fucking bushwhacking into the bamboo?
リツはいつもあそこを通って帰るから日にちを間違えてるって可能性もないわけじゃないけどね。
いつも見かけるのに昨日は見なかったんで不思議に思ってたって言うんだから確かなんじゃね？
うん。
竹林の中は調べなかったの？
Nope.
いやそれが
We tried, of course.
あそこ田中のじいさんの土地だろ？
あの雷じじい。
Lightning? Kunatsu grimaces. I don't blame her. Back when we were small, the four of us would often venture into the bamboo grove. Towering stalks and leafy canopy made it seem like another world. Christie's. Oh. Perfect spot for children to play. But each time we were turned back by old Tanaka, aka the Lightning Emperor. Old Tanaka agreed some decades back to allow foot traffic through his land, a concession that came only after much strife amongst the townsfolk, henceforth known as the First Lightning Emperor War. He still stubbornly refuses to let kids come and play. Any intruders are treated to the power of his legendary thunderclap voice, a mighty roar said to have slain 14 wild dogs at once. Taking advantage of our numbers, we divided up our forces and waged a guerrilla war against him, hoping to wear the old man down. But thanks to the intervention of his neighbors, damn appeasers, we were forced to withdraw and only ate sweet potatoes to show for our efforts. Thus ended the Second Lightning Emperor War. Ever since, we've kept our distance from old Tanaka. I heard he's calmed down a lot recently, though. Maybe his age is finally catching up with him.
たまたま昨日は元気だったらしくてな。
しかもつい最近竹林を荒らした連中がいるらしくて、こっちを見るなり僕らを犯人だと決めつけて怒鳴り同士でさ。
You know, you could just
全く
just
話
go
にならなか
talk
った
to him.
ね。
You know, just ask him. Be like, hey, one of our friends went missing and we think they went through. Is it okay if we take a look?
笑い事じゃないでしょう。
Couldn't agree more.
とにかくあそこはじいさんの留守を狙ってまた調べてみるさ。
It's like when you go hunting on someone else's
進まないし
lands,
な。
you know. You just gotta ask. The worst they can say is no. And if they let you, I don't know, give them a bottle of bourbon or something.
それでお前の方はどうだったんだ？
あ、うん。リツの友達を片っ端から当たってみたんだけど。
Kanatsu's expression fills in the rest. But we are compelled to hear her out all the same.
けど
成果ゼロ。おととい忠康と別れた後のリツを見た人は誰もいなかった。誰それと駆け落ちでもしたんじゃないかとか。
What, you got some
い
side
い加
piece we
減
don't
な
know
噂
about?
はいろいろ拾ったけどね。
駆け落ちの相手は誰か特定の男？
言う人によってバラバラ。ちなみにあんたやユウヒ
Oh,
も
nice.
候補者のうち。
俺たちは別に失踪してないんだが。
You're just hiding her somewhere.
一方だけが姿を消す駆け落ちってそれはつまり拉致監禁って言わないかな。ユウヒ、ちょっと押し入れ開けてみていい？
No, that's where the mags are hidden.
どうもお前との友情を清算して損失額を支払わせる時が来たらしいな。
後にしなさい。それとこれも聞いた噂のうちなんだけど、
And that would be?
ちょっと良くない噂が。
まあリツはやることなすこと万事が派手めだったからね。
悪く言うやつは昔からいたろ。今さらそんなもん気にしたって仕方がない。
That's just what happens when you stand out from the crowd. It used to make me mad, but Ritsu would always laugh it off, saying that it comes with the territory whenever you're a celebrity. Eventually, I stopped caring about what other people had to say about her. Of course, ignoring the rumor mongers didn't make them go away. Quite the opposite, in fact.
そうじゃなくて、リツの噂じゃなくて、
なんだよ。
リツに関係あるかもしれない悪い噂。
Uh-huh.
最近人がいなくなってそれっきりってこと多いでしょ。
You think she got, like, turned into a lampshade or something?
順調な増加傾向にあるね。
順調ってことはないだろ
Someone used her skin to upholster a couch? Not that he's wrong.
その理由が六原の奴隷貿易なんじゃないかって噂する人が多いの。だから子供とか見た目のいい若い女の子とかがよくいなくなるんだって。
うん。
本当かどうかはわからないけど。 大陸に運んで売るのに都合がいいから。
Kanatsu falls silent at this, and no one picks up after her. Rokuhara, trading in slaves, easily dismissed as a baseless rumor. It's the sort of thing who people with a bone to pick with Rokuhara would say, and everyone in the city has a bone to pick with Rokuhara. So it's probably just bias speaking. However, the idea of a Rokuhara slave trade, something about it feels horribly right.
ありえない話じゃないね。
忠康。
なるほど。それなら拉致犯が家に連絡を入れてこないことも不思議じゃなくなる。利益は被害者の家族ではなく購入者から得ればいいわけだから。
ちょっと
忠康。
怒らないで聞いてほしいな。時間の無駄だよ。
Tadayasu's voice is cold, a bucket of freezing water to douse the flames of her anger.
狙われるのは女子供。それも合理的だね。捕獲に要する手間が少ない上、運ぶのも比較的楽だ。青年男性と違って労働力としては期待できないけれど、
You know, but for other things.
そういう役割を求められる奴隷ではないのだろうね。
Like domestic work.
奴隷市場となるとどこになるかな。上海か香港か、マカオか。その先はもうわからないな。中南米かもしれないし、大陸の奥地かもしれない。
I want to stop him, but I can't. I know that to do it would only be to... words. I know that to do so would be like sticking a lid on a can of a garbage. The garbage doesn't disappear just because you can't smell it. Can it be true? Can something so foul, so rotten, truly have befallen Ritsu?
もしもし
Hypothetically.
もし本当にそんなことがあったとして
Nothing.
どうすればいいの？
What do we do?
とりあえずは事実を調べることだよ。まだ律がどうなったか実際のところは何も分かっていないんだ。憶測で騒ぎ立てても相手にされないよ。
Yeah, don't go barking up the wrong tree. It's no answer, but of course, we all know that.
つまりは律の足取り調査の続行だな。
そうだね。
I decide to back Tadayasu's play. Now as an agreement, Kanatsu says nothing. I know we're all thinking the same thing. We can't go against Rokuhara. No one can.
小夏。他には何かないのかな？
This is like the plot of some fucked up Persona game.
あ、うん。
Don't think it's gonna go as well as those
もう
do.
一つ気になる話が。
なんだ？
今朝のことなんだけど、学校に来る途中で怪しい人を見たって。
怪しい人？
Suspicious how?
忠康くらいか。
ユーヒちゃんと冗談めかして言ってよ。真顔で言ってどうするのさ。
あ？俺は真面目だが。
そうね。話を聞く限りだと、どうも4忠康くらい
Man,
の怪
that's
し
real
さ。
suspicious.
相当だな。
会話の円滑な進行のためにひとまず黙っておくけど、僕が納得していないという事実は議事録に残しておくからね。それでどんな人？
Oh, we already described him. You know, just 4 times as suspicious as you.
なんだかすごく暗い感じの。
You mean like his vibe? His like aura? Or are we talking like sub-Saharan?
ほう。
暗黒大将軍か暗闇の星の暗闇星人かってくらいに黒いオーラがにじんでる人で。
Okay, aura. Gotcha.
あまり聞かない人物表だね。
途方もなく景気の悪い目つきをしながら学校の周りを徘徊していたんだとか。
I mean, maybe it's just some office worker on his way to his fucking 9 to 5 that he hates.
それは怪しいな。
I fold my arms and consider this new
関
revelation.
係あるかな？
さっきの噂と結びつければ、拉致の実行犯が次の獲物を狙っているとも考えられるね。
Okay, but if they're like professional kidnappers, they would know not to come off as super suspicious. That just draws attention.
じゃあそいつを捕まえれば。
律にたどり着ける可能性はある。可能性はね。
それは分かってるが。
But I finally feel like we have a real lead, even if it may not lead us into the light. Ritsu didn't return home tonight either. My impatience is building. I never knew how hard it would be to have a close friend suddenly vanish. Even sleep feels like a total waste of time.
夜に調査なんてやるだけ無駄だよ。鎌倉大番に捕まりでもしたら何もできなくなる。落ち着いて、夕日。
I know, but Ritsu, you're okay, right? You're just fooling around somewhere, right? Hurry back. Give you, I swear. Or did those Rokuhara bastards really take you? If they did, I'll do nothing. Shit. That night, I dream of doing battle with a giant darkling from the planet Dark. Time rolls on, not giving two shits about my worries. We still have school, and that means class. This is the last place I want to be sitting. But for us to cut now would only make things worse. It's not like we can use our investigation as an excuse. Don't want to cause trouble, especially for Konatsu's parents, who were kind enough to look after me, an orphan, even though I'm only a distant relation. If I'd been raised by my real parents, I felt free to ask them for help now? Thought crosses my mind, but it carries no weight. Don't even remember their faces. All I know is what I was told, that they were killed in an accident. So, all I can do is wait for the closing bell to ring. There's no way I can pay attention in class like this, though I kind of feel bad for ignoring Suzukawa. He's probably just as frustrated as we are.
歴史を古代、中世、近世、近代、現代のように区分けすることを時代区分という。前回まで学んでいたのが近代。今日から現代に入るが。
Oh boy, the here and now, the tough one to talk about.
近代、現代の区分けには諸説ある。その一つは新型剣の誕生をもって現代の始まりとするものだ。上古の時代から今に至るまで、剣は常に最強の兵器だった。
Thanks for the lore dump teach.
着用した人間の身体能力を飛躍的に向上させ、空を自在に駆けさせる。
I mean, yeah, it's a cool mech
これ
suit.
陸上では戦車、空では飛行艦が有力な兵器として注目されているが、いずれも単純な戦闘力ではまだまだ剣に及ばないというのが実情だ。HVAP をはじめ、剣の撃墜を目指した兵器の研究もされている。我が国でも戦時中、レールガン計画などが一時期脚光を浴びたな。しかし実用に達した例はほとんどない。剣を打倒できる兵器はなく、剣に打倒されない兵器もなし。そのつもりになれば、剣を使う者は一人で完全武装の歩兵100人を駆逐することができる。いや、それどころか、中には町をただ一人で壊滅させてしまう者さえいるようだ。
In one fell swoop or like, you know, bit by bit.
その種の伝説ならどこの
There's
国
a
に
real
もある
difference in
が、
that.
こんな話を昔のおとぎ話ではなく、現実的な脅威として受け止めなくてはならない我々大和国民は、残念ながら非常。
A few students sitting by the window look up to the sky, as if anticipating a sudden spat of rain, or something else perhaps. Thankfully, there's nothing there. Nothing silver.
剣はそれだけの力を持っている。その剣の使い手を武者という。近代以前、武者は一握りの上級士族だけに限られていたが、高野、それはなぜだ？
Because the upper classes are hoarding all the power.
剣が貴重品だったからです。
But you needed a lot of money.
なぜ貴重品だった？
鍛冶師一人につき一つしか作れなかったからです。
そうだ。剣鍛冶は生涯一打ち。なぜなら、
Cool.
剣を完成させるには、鍛冶師が自分の神魂を鎧に打ち込まなくてはならない。
Yeah, that's metal as hell.
そうすることで初めて、剣は最強の武器としての力を得、その力を使い手の意志に応じて制御するための頭脳も備える。芯金を通さなければ、ただの上出来な鎧だ。
Oh, cool. So they like computerize their brain and become like a spirit AI?
つまり、剣を一両作るには、 鍛冶師が命を一つ捧げなくてはならないわけだ。貴重品なのは当然だな。
先生、
どうした吉田。
剣を作った鍛冶師は死ぬんですか？
I mean, depends how you define death.
難しい質問だな。鍛冶師の神魂は剣の OS として残るわけだ
It's
から
like if you upload your
生
brain
き
to
て
a
いるという
computer,
見
you
方
know,
もできる。
your body may die, but do you die?
だがそれはあくまで剣の部品としての精神というか精神のようなものだ。人間らしさはほぼなくしている。
Oh.
使用者の命令に応えるだけで自発的行動はしない。そうではない剣がかつてあったという人もいる
So
が
it's just like an
伝
AI,
説
you
の
know,
彼
like
方
a
の話
full
だ。
like science fiction
現代には残っていないだろう。
AI, and you just become like Siri on your phone.
さて、そういうわけで近代まで武者は非常に数少なかった。世界共通のこの事情が劇的に変化するのは国記2549年、ハプスブルクの兵器メーカーゼグラー社が世界で初めて
Cool.
鍛冶師の命を消費せずに剣を完成させた時のことだ。これに先立つ2544年、何があったか知っているもの。
はい。
稲木。
ブリテンのフォレット教授が研究していたミラー法によるクローン技術開発が頓挫、研究成果をゼグラー社に売却しました。
成果とは具体的に？
コピーボディの完成です。ただこれは免疫問題を克服できなかったため、期待されていた医療面での有効活用は不可能と断定されました。
So you just throw a clone into the fucking forge instead and, you know, dust your hands of them out and be like, yeah, that'll do.
そう。だがゼグラー社のアルブリヒト博士はこの技術を剣の製造工程に転用することを思いついたわけだ。剣は能力の源泉とするため、そして能力を制御する知能とするために鍛冶師自身の心身を必要とする。それを博士は前者をコピーボディ、後者を機械式の CPU とプログラムで代用することに成功。量産可能な全く新しい剣を誕生させた。この新型の剣は性能面では旧来の剣に大きく劣ったが、
Yeah, but if you can field a bunch of them, it doesn't matter.
例えば旧型の剣でも上物に属するものは使用者に装甲されていない状態でも指示を受けて独立行動する能力を有する。この時の形状は移動に役立つ馬が最も多い。新型の剣にこんな真似は無理だ。しかしそれでも十分な能力を発揮したし、
Like a big hornet invading a beehive, and you know, the hornets are a lot stronger, but the bees, they just tear it apart.
何よりも貴重な技術者である
Well,
鍛冶師を
they used to
消
know
費せ
tear
ず
it
に済む
apart.
こ
They
と
usually
が
like swarm it,
各国の軍事関
and
係
they
者
do
を
this
して
thing
共
where they
闘さ
all
せた。
kind of like vibrate to create heat, and they like cook the hornet. It's real cool.
かくして世界中の国々は争ってこの新兵器を採用、技術を取り入れ量産し改良を重ねた。今では性能においても旧型に迫るところまで来ているというものも多い。一方、新型の剣の普及に反比例して旧型の剣は急速に作られなくなり、まあ当たり前だな。技術が散逸して現在ではもうドワーフの鍛冶師の中でも
Excuse me,
限ら
dwarves?
れたものの間にしか鍛造法が伝わっていないと言われる。今
Like,
戦場の主役
like
は
actual
新型の剣
dwarves, or
だ。
just kind of like, you know,
旧型の剣を使うのは
they're really
由
good
緒あ
at
る家系
forging,
出
so
身の
it's
将
like
校くらいしか
a
いない。
title of like, oh yeah, they're like the dwarves in myth and legend. Are we talking like Lord of the Rings, Gimli dwarves?
ここで少し用語の整理をしておこう。
Oh god.
ちゃんと聞いとけ。赤点を取りたいならいいけどな。
Oh, that was close. I was just about to pass out.
超能を持つ鎧を
Just start like
剣。
sniffing hand sanitizer
Scout
from
samurai
Sharpies.
を
That's
武者
what we
と
did
い
in
う。
basic training.
これはいいな。剣は2種類。
Uh-huh.
新型と旧型があり、
I read the
Yamato de wa
the
zensha o
instruction manual
kazuuchi.
to the game
後者を真打ちと一
where it
般
went
に
over
言
the
う。
settings and like gave a little glossary. Oh, except this last part like, with the complicated names. There are two types: mass production, traditional. Okay, so mass produced are Kazuuchi, and the later are Shinuchi. Okay, Shin, new, gotcha. No wait, Shin. So Kazu are new, Shin are old. Gotcha.
西洋ではレッドクルスとブラッドクルスなんて呼び方をするな。そして武者は軍事専門用語では竜騎兵と呼ぶわけだが、狭い意味では前者を真打ちの使い手、後者を数打ちの使い手という意味で用いるので注意するように。
Okay. Mass produced equals Kazuuchi, Dragoon, traditional, Shinuchi, Musha. Gotcha. Heh, piece of cake.
竜騎兵、武者か。
I remember when those words were synonymous with hero. Musha were the defenders of peace and justice, the shields of the innocent and powerless, stronger than anyone, yet bounded by the strictest of moral codes. All boys worshipped Musha and dreamt of joining the ranks. I was no different. All that changed, however. Now, Musha means Rokuhara.
話を近代と現代の区分に戻すぞ。つまり竜騎兵の登場をもって現代の皮切りとする説があるわけだが、その理由はわかるか？
わかりません。
元気があってよ
At
ろし
least
い。
you're honest.
立ってろ。じゃあ剣博士の稲木。
それまで権力者の占有物だった最強兵器が市民階級の手にも渡るようになったからです。
You know, regular, quote unquote.
そうだ。
As long as you're in the military.
新技術の誕生によって剣の数量が爆発的に増え、といっても重量を作るだけで国家予算レベルの検討が必要になる依然として希少な品であることに変わりはないんだがな。
Yeah, you're not gonna make one in your garage.
剣の数量が増えると使い手を士族階級だけで賄うわけにもいかなくなった。足りない分はどうする？そう、平民だ。それまで軍においては脇役でしかなかった平民層出身者が剣を与えられ、竜騎兵部隊を構成していく。
You saying they got
そうして
rights?
力を持てば当然発言力も増す。大和国軍における竜騎兵部隊の誕生が興隆2年。選挙法から財産制限が撤廃されたのが興隆10年。国旗2569年。この間わずか8年というの
Yeah,
は
harder to
偶
keep
然
you
でも何で
oppressed
も
when
な
you
い。
got a fucking mecha suit.
銃が民主主義を生んだという言葉があるが、ならば育て上げたのは新型剣というわけだ。竜騎兵の登場をもって現代とするのはこの考え方に由来する。
Pretty grim if you ask me. I don't like to think that history is shaped by the development of weapons, though I can see why many people do think that way. If that's true, I suppose the next age will begin with another new weapon. I wonder what it will be. Second thought, I don't want to know.
さて、では現代史だが、次回にするか。今日は概略だけ説明して終わろう。
Yes, this is our last class of the day. After cleanup, we'll finally be able to look for Ritsu.
民主主義、あるいは民族主義の成長は、大国の植民地支配に対する
What?
非支配地域の反発を生み、各地で抵抗運動が盛んにな
That's how
る。
you're able to tell this is a work of fiction. That would never happen.
これを受ける格好で、大和は人種差別思想の撤廃を国際社会に訴え、アジアの盟主としての地位を確立しようと図ったが、
Almost like
大
there
英
was
連
some
邦をはじ
sphere
め
where we
白
could
人
all
諸国の反
prosper
発を買う。
together in it, almost like some kind of co-prosperity sphere.
ロシアの南下はワロ戦争によっても結局は止められず、大和はこれに対抗する形で大陸進出を推進。このことが大英連邦をさらに警戒させ、大戦へとつながっていく。国内では竜騎兵の誕生により武者統括の組織であった陸 F が勢力を拡大。大戦突入に先立って陸軍海軍と並ぶ国軍組織を
let's
形
just
成。
gloss over, you know, the whole invading China thing. That's not for it, you know.
六原幕府の誕生だ。そして大戦。欧州、アジア、その他の地域でも戦争の火蓋が切って落とされた。大和軍は大陸と南洋へ進出し、序盤は連戦連勝。アジア統一も間近かと思われた。
Where's the stabbed in the back myth come from here?
が、大英連邦は新大陸駐留軍を太平洋方面へ向け、大和軍を迎撃させた。国際東亜共栄連盟は、国家間問題の平和的な解決を目的として作られた組織だが、 実質大英連邦とその衛星国家による共産会でしかないのは
Yeah,
皆も知っている通りだ。
Again, political year teach.
大英連邦は連盟の決議を得て UNF を編成。戦力の中心はあくまでも自前の新隊陸軍で、そう増強されたわけでもないが、これにより補給の不安が解消されたことの意味は大きい。
No, they cheated! No, their superior logistics network! No! That's not fighting like a real men. Real men eat dirt and bugs. You can't just ship in ice cream barges. No!
一方、
Suck it,
資
loser.
源に恵まれず他国からの支援もない大和側は即戦即決の糸をくじかれると後が続かなかった。戦線は膠着し、やがて大和軍は押し戻され占領地を失い、
Yep.
ついには本土決戦を迎える。敗勢はなおも続き、九州、中国と侵略され、しかしまだ六原軍は健在だった。誰もが六原さえ出撃すれば情勢は覆ると信
It
じて
sounded
い
like they actually went through with an Operation
た。
Downfall.
そして
Cool.
六原は大和史上に前例のない歴史的決断を下す。
You know, make a peace treaty where, you know, you agree to the demands as long as I get to stay in power. Suzukawa, master of irony.
六原は裏切った。祖国を見捨て、
Mm-hmm.
連盟軍に降伏した。その先帝となって大和を制圧した。町を焼き、市民を殺し、かくして大戦は終わり、大和は一応の主権を保障されながらも連盟の GHQ の管理下に置かれ、六原は寝返りの褒美にその下で大和の統治権を獲得する。
In Mavlov and to deal with GHQ in Umineko, I can't escape it. I just can't fucking escape, you know, World War II Japan and these goddamn visual novels. It all loops back.
時に交流35年、国記2594年、外暦1934年。そうだ。
Mm-hmm.
あれからまだ6年しか経っていないのだ。以上だ。次回からはこの流れを順々に追っていく。では日直。
起立。
いや、それがものすごい速さでな、こうバヒューンと。
竹
Okay.
林の奥を？
ああ、竹の間をすり抜けるようにしてな。イタチか何かみたいなすばしっこさだったが、
が
人間だったんじゃねえかな。
Like on all
そんな
fours?
形してたしな。でも人間の動きじゃねえよ
Spooky.
な。あれ猿だったのかもしれねえけど、多分あれは
It was Bigfoot?
ああ、いや、なんでもねえや。うん。山から降りてきた猿かなんかだろ。よくいるんだ。そんな間抜けも。タケノコでも掘りに来たのか
Alright,
ね。
reasonable explanation at least.
もういいか？おじさんもその忙しいからさ。
はい、どうも。ありがとうございました。
After the man had scurried out of sight, the three of us exchanged silent glances. While asking around the bars near the bamboo grove, we heard about a guy who saw something 3 nights ago, and now we know what it was. He stopped himself before he could say it, but it's not difficult to imagine what he was thinking. Something shaped like a man that moves with unnatural speed. In other words, something that is both human and inhuman. A Musha. A Musha can only mean Rokuhara, since no one else may own a Tsurugi. Immediately after the war, GHQ rounded up all of the loose Tsurugi in Yamato. Now it's nearly impossible to find one out of Rokuhara hands. There were some who managed to conceal their ownership, but most were eventually discovered or betrayed, while others rose up and were crushed. Either way, they lost their Tsurugi and their lives. There was a brief period during which such stories were fairly common. I haven't heard anything recently, though. There probably aren't any holdouts left. At least as far as Kanto is concerned, Rokuhara's monopoly on Musha is absolute. No exceptions. Well, except from racing cruxes, I guess.
アーマーレーサーがたまた
Yeah,
ま
but
ここで
they'll
練
let those
習して
slide.
たってオチだと思う？
確かにコーナーリングは鍛えられそうだが、
田中来店も心が広くなったもんね。事故が日常のアーマーレースの練習場に竹林を提供するなんて。
Not a chance in hell. In the first place, racers aren't allowed to don their armor except at established racetracks. We have our answer. Unless the guy was mistaken, there was a Rokuhara Musha in the Grove 3 nights ago. The same night Ritsu disappeared. The slave trade. Once again, that ugliest of phrases rears its stinking head. It was only one possibility when we spoke about it last night. We were spared from having to face the utter hopelessness it represented. But now?
本当に六原にさらわれたのか、リツ。
The thought looms, suddenly far more real than before. Yet none of us dares to put it into words. Our lips are sealed by the same understanding that silenced the man. No one can defy Rokuhara. If Rokuhara took her, there's nothing we can do. Rationing, conscription, random tax hikes. There's been no end to Rokuhara's oppression. Still, it was never too much for us to bear. Until now. Now, the ultimate power in Yamato is threatening to take our friend away, if it hasn't already. We have to do something, but what? Rokuhara's untouchable. Nothing can bring them to justice. There are no heroes.
どうすればいいの？
No more heroes too? Desperate struggle? Let's go. Konatsu can no longer maintain a cheerful facade. Her voice is heavy, and I have no words which to lighten her burden. What should we do? Pray for aid from a just god who surely doesn't exist? Perhaps we should pray for a wrathful god to destroy Rokuhara instead. That seems more realistic. But no, prayer won't solve our problem.
竹林を調べよう。まずは事実の確認が。
確認してどうすんだよ。
夕日。
Just gotta take one more step, you know. Left foot, right foot.
どうにもできねえじゃんか、六原が敵なら。竹林調べて武者が律を拉致ったって証拠つかんで、それからどうするよ。六原に殴り込みでもかけんのか。
Shit. What the hell am I doing? Why am I taking this out on Tadayasu? Such a fucking loser. Tadayasu's right, as usual. Nothing is set in stone. We need to know exactly what happened. But I'm afraid. I'm afraid that if we find proof that we are powerless, then despair will crush me. If we give up now, I can still cling to the delusion that Ritsu might come strolling back any minute, just like she always has. A coward.
夕日。
悪い。そうだよな。まずは確かめるのが先決だ。竹林に行こう。じいさんの目をごまかして、なんとか。
いや、違うよ。夕日、あれ。
Tadayasu replies, tapping my shoulder incessantly.
Huh?
I raise my browed head to see Tadayasu and Konatsu staring at something off to the side. I follow their gaze.
あれは。
あれじゃないかな。
あれよね。
暗闇星人。
Spooky. Yeah, dark aura is a good adjective for him. There stands the gloomiest looking man I've ever seen. Man is young, even handsome objectively, but his positive qualities are utterly eclipsed by the aura of darkness that surrounds him. Nice satchels. It's like I'm afraid to get close because I might spontaneously transform into a middle-aged man with a shitty job and no love life. That is how bleak, how absolutely demonic his aura is.
どうしようか。
It's rare to see Tadayasu so shaken. I don't blame him. Even at this distance, I can feel the dark energy like static against my skin.
声かけてみる？
I mean, you could. Of course, what she means is you go talk to him. But I don't want to go either, so I suggest the next best plan.
とりあえず 様子を見てみるか。
異議なし。
賛成。
That settles it. We'll put off approaching the man for now. He walks off, and we follow at a distance, careful to stay out of the field of darkness that is literally pushing other pedestrians out of his way. Nice fucking jazzy sax. Let's go. After leaving the bar district, the man wanders around Ritsu's neighborhood for a bit, then heads to our school. No way this is a coincidence. He's up to something.
苦労だよな。
行動を見る限り少なくとも無関係ということはなさそうだね。加えて一つ。
何？
さっき学校前で上原先生を捕まえ
Did we?
て話を聞いてたじゃないか。
I don't know, just pause it and let's find out.
ああ、最初は上原嫌そうな顔してたのに、途中から急におとなしくなったんだよな。
そうそう、それは私も気になってた。
その時のことなんだけど、僕の見間違いでなければ、あの時銃を見せたんだよ。
銃？
Yeah, I got my gun right here too. Oh, I'm dropping bullets everywhere. Where'd that one go? That rolled all the way under my desk. I'll get it later.
拳銃だったね。懐からこうちらっと一瞬だけ。
Maybe it was
刀
die
では
cast
よく
instead
わ
of
からなかっ
plastic.
たな。
そりゃ上原もビビるよ。
Like Tsurugi, guns belong to another world. Only a soldier or a cop would have one. Or a criminal. Which means...
犯人確定だろ。
状況証拠としては十分かもね。
あの行動範囲でおまけに銃。疑う余地がないじゃないの。
She's absolutely right. I mean, what else could he be? Some random gun nut wandering around town? He's the kidnapper. Or someone working with the kidnapper.
あいつを
どうするの？
どうするわけ？
捕まえる。
Oh, yeah, go get shot, bud. Have fun.
本気か
We'll record it. Get it for the Vine. I can't deny that desperation is getting the better of me here. But letting this guy go isn't an option.
奴が六原の武者だとしても、今は非武装だ。どうにかなる。
非武装ってあんた
Yeah, but it's in his
銃
bag.
持ってんのよ。
Not gonna do much to the fucking brick upside his head.
そりゃ剣に比べれば豆鉄砲みたいなもんだけどね。僕らにとってはどっちも大して変わらない殺人兵器だよ。
当たらなければ大丈夫。
当たったら
根性で耐えて前へ進む。
Yeah.
な
Now
ん
he
か
blows
似
your
た
fucking
よう
brains
なこと
out.
言って騎馬軍団を全滅させた人が昔いなかったかな。
Oh, you talking the fucking Sengoku Jidai one, the dude who like essentially invented the cavalry charge in Japanese military tactics, but was also the guy who ended it? Because, you know, firearms also got introduced in the exact same war, and they just got absolutely fucking decimated.
せめて作戦とかないの？
俺があいつの前に立って気を引く。その間に忠康、お前が後ろから殴れ。
新参希望だね。
ありがとう。
皮肉が通じない。
イケイケモードに入っちゃったみたいだね。律への心配と敵を見つけた興奮と六原への恐怖の裏返しとが混ざり合った結果じゃないかなと分析してみたりするけど。
どうするのよ？
乗ってみてもいいんじゃ
All
な
the
いかな。
chemicals in your brain make you think you're invincible.
本気？
見てよ、あの人、米屋の裏の路地に入ろうとしてる。あそこなら回り込むのは簡単だ。
Yeah, it's 3 on
夕
1.
日の作
You can
戦
get
通り
him.
にやれると思うよ。
でも
捕まえれば得られるものは大きい。
Yeah, you might even get a gun out of it. He's gonna drop some
ね。
epic loot.
ま、どうにかなるんじゃないかな。律の居所がわかる可能性もある。
忠康、いいか。
オッケー。くず鉄工場で鉄パイプか何か拾ってから回り込む。夕日はドブ川が曲がるあたりで仕掛けて。
わかった。
Yeah, try not to get shot.
お、
Says the guy that's probably never been in a single fucking fight before. I know that this is totally insane. I know we're likely to get ourselves killed. The palms of my hands are dripping with sweat. To be honest, my plan is hardly worthy of the name. Yeah, we might surprise him enough to keep him from using his gun, but so what? Even without their Tsurugi, Musha are masters of the martial arts, not the kind of enemy a couple of kids can handle. At this distance, I can make out the lines of his body. The man is slender, but clearly well built. His posture erect and his stride firm. I'm sure he's been through rigorous training. Even if he isn't a Musha, he's definitely a soldier of some sort. It's crazy to go up against him. Still, we have a chance. As long as he's alone and doesn't have a Tsurugi, we can fight. We can do something besides lie down and cry. It disgusts me how desperate I am. I want so badly to seize this chance. After all, even if we can't defeat Orokuhara, if this plan works, we'll have scored a victory. A small victory, but a victory nonetheless.
それで満足しようってのか、バカが。
We're approaching the bend in the drainage ditch. No more thinking. Just take him down, figure out the next step after that. Now, I charge the man and shout.
おい、そこのクラグラとした悪党。
はい。
The man stops and turns to face me. Our eyes meet. He looks at me, and I look at him. His gaze is cool and quiet. He's like, oh yeah, that's me. What do you want? I plant my feet and slide to a stop. Tadayasu rushes the man from behind, his speed astonishingly fast. The man turns at the sound of his footsteps. I try to shout something, but nothing comes. The man looks straight at Tadayasu, but Tadayasu doesn't hesitate. He swings his metal pipe high over his head. The man looks up at it. He watches as the pipe comes down. He watches as the pipe meets his forehead. He keeps watching, right to the end.
おめでとうって言っていいわけ？
Yeah, you just assaulted some random guy. Good job.
いや、どうかな。
まさか一発で倒せるとは。
You hit him in the head with a metal pipe.
六原の人間にしてはちょっとそのあまりにも
Well, you guys
あまりな
also
んじゃない？
just assumed that's what he was. Do our evil overlords really use guys that let themselves get knocked out by teenagers? And this ain't right. I feel like pigs are about to start raining from the sky.
いや、まあ、六原ったってピンキリだろうし、大半は武者でも何でもない普通の兵士なわけだし、こういうことも。
そうそう、たまたまこの人は六原100万機の100万番目だったんじゃないかな。
おお、それなんかすげえ確率だな、忠康。
うん、なんだか宝くじでも買いたくな
Okay,
ってき
maybe
た
like
ね。
restrain him, tie his hands
わかっ
behind his
た、
back or
OK
something?
私がはっきり言ってあげる。ねえ、この人。
そろそろ日が暮れるな。
Yeah, what if he's not Rokuhara?
焼き
And
芋で
he's
も
just
買っ
some
て帰
guy?
ろうか。
Just some real gloomy guy you just concussioned?
ただの通行人だったんじゃないの？
Just had to say it.
いや、でも悪党って呼んだらはいって答えたよ、この男。
それは単に声かけられたから返事しただけじゃないのかしら。
Yeah, he was the only one here, so you had to have been talking to him.
そう思うなら止めてほしかったな。下手をすると僕ら3人ひたすら無意味に傷害罪なんだけど。
実行犯はお前だ。
Yep,
一
it's
人
all
だ
on
け
you.
事件ね。お別れね。さようなら。元気でね。
We might write you, but we'll not go to the trouble to come and visit you.
大丈夫。僕たちはずっと一緒さ。だって教唆犯と実行犯の罪は同等だもの。
そうだ、拳銃。忠康、こいつ拳銃持ってたんだろ。
Yeah,
まっとうな
search
人
his
間なわけ
pockets.
がない。
Get that loot.
ああ、そうだったね。確認してみよう。確かコートの下に。
忠康。
銃。
うん。銃はあるよ。
よし、何がいいのかともかくとしてよし。
Oh, this means we're not criminals. Probably.
忠康？
銃はあるんだけどね。そのグリップに朝日の紋章がついてるんだ。
Okay. What does that mean? Like the Imperial? No, that's the chrysanthemum. Like Komintong? Sunburst?
朝日？
That's
警察局の紋章だね。
oh. Damn, that's crazy. You guys submitted a police report about a missing person, and they sent a person to investigate, and then you jumped them? That's fucked up.
私ほんと
いやー、どうしたもんだろうね、この始末。
We're fucked.
本当に申し訳ありませんでした。
はい。あなた方の謝罪は了解しました。
That's all good. No one died.
もう頭を上げてください。
The gloomy man turned out to be a pretty nice guy. After he woke up, he was patient enough to listen while we tumbled over each other trying to explain ourselves, then was even nice enough to forgive us without a single rebuke. I've never met a guy this chill. You could give the Buddha a run for his money.
というより、ここまで来るとちょっと変な人だよね。
超うるせえから黙ってろ。
Just to be sure, I used my fist to shut it for him. Not that I don't get where he's coming from. The man's back is ruler straight. His perfect posture hardly suitable for a nice day in the park. Still, it doesn't feel like he's making an effort. It's probably just natural for him. Oh god, I need to work on my posture. I've been working on it recently, but it's like it feels like when you're trying to walk with like a straight back, it almost feels like you're tilting your like head and neck backwards, but it's really just straight. I should probably get like one of those little posture aid things where like you strap it on and it like kind of keeps your shoulders back. Maybe that's why he's so tall. So if I stop slouching, I'll grow taller? Might be worth a shot. I mean, it can bump your height up like an inch or so if like you're not fucking like hunched over all the time. And the center of his forehead is an enormous lump. Sure, all I need is some ice, but still, I don't think I'd be as forgiving in his place. Seriously, he's like a saint or something.
すみません、ほんとすみません。全くこいつらとは容赦なくバカですから、私が止めても聞いてくれなくて。
Yep, just bust out the waterworks and everything will be
ご
okay.
めんなさい。ちなみにやる前にそこの女にはなんか葉っぱかけられたような気がするんですが、それはさておいてごめんなさい。
ちなみに僕は実行犯ではありますが、主犯は多分そっちの彼だと思いますと個人的見解を示しつつ、大変ご迷惑をおかけいたしました。
We, on the other hand, are doing a pretty good job of selling each other out.
大したことはありません。頭部で最も
I
骨
mean,
が
yeah,
硬い
he's
額で
also
した
right about that.
脳症は
Luckily you didn't
健
get him
在
in
で
the
す
temple.
記憶の喪失も確認されません。どうかお気になさらず。
So that makes it okay?
つまりあなた方は友人を助けたい一
We
心
did
で
it for
自
justice.
分への襲撃行為に及んだ。
ええ、まあ。
Then we're on the same team. Assaulted.
状況を鑑みれば自分が疑われたのも無理からぬことと言えます。あなた方にのみ一方的な非があるとは思えません。
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. How can this guy be so calm? He's even speaking politely, like we're his superiors instead of a bunch of dumbass kids. I mean, we hit him with a pipe. He could have died.
短絡的な行動だったのは確かですが、それもお年を思えば仕方のないことです。
Yeah, please don't go hitting random people with pipes.
今後は注意を求めます。
あ、はい。
肝に銘じます。
いい勉強をさせていただきました。
Next time. Oh god, I peaked my mic there. That was a little too loud, more than I intended.
ところでおまわりさん、こういう聞き方はなんですけど、どうしてあんな怪しい行動をしてらしたんです？
That's just how he is.
お前な。
I want to know too, but come on. Officer doesn't seem offended though. He just nods and answers as though it were nothing.
あなた方のご友人、風間律さんの失踪について。
はい。
Kanatsu and I gape in disbelief. Though, come to think of it, there's actually nothing wrong with his answer.
いや、正直それだけはないと思ってたんですけど。
Are you telling me not all cops are bad?
とは
Shocker.
いやいや、忠康。
ストープストープ。
They're gonna need to take a cab off their fucking profile descriptions. Kanatsu and I clamp our hands over Tadayasu's mouth to prevent him from digging an even deeper hole. But the officer seems to have guessed what Tadayasu was getting at.
なるほど。 警察がまともに仕事をするとは珍しいという趣旨の疑問でしょうか。
まあ
歯に衣着せずに言えば
ごもっともです。実際警察機構の大半は形骸化しています。自分も実のところ
just following your
風
own
間律さんの
your
捜索
own
願いを受け
justice.
て動いているわけではありません。今後も捜索班が編成されることはないでしょう。予算も人員もなく許可も与えられないでしょうから。
許可？
六原の許可です。幕府は非常事態勢を理由に警察を監督下に置いています。
Fucking buried in
許しな
bureaucracy.
く行動はできません。そして幕府に益しない行動は許されません。
So that's how it is.
警察の業務の大半は六原の雑用も同然と言えます。
いやー、そんなもんだと聞いてはいましたけどね。でもそうなるとおまわりさんはどうして律の捜査を？
申し遅れました。
The officer opens his jacket enough to show us his pistol. On its grip glitters the sunburst emblem that so shocked us earlier in the day.
自分は内務省警察局鎌倉市警察署属員港影明です。
続員？
Yeah, attached? What?
アルバイト
Are you
の
like
職
an
員。
auxiliary? Okay.
昔の岡っ
Oh,
引き、
okay.
下っ引きのようなものと思っていただければ
Depends
結
where
構です。
You're not in uniform, I guess, unless that is a uniform.
そんな制度あったんですか？
ありません。
はい？
公式には。ですので、六原の監督。
Oh, okay. It's kind of a under the table deal.
ああ、なるほど。
You're able to go out and about and, you know, do things kind of off the books. Wow, a deputy. Sounds so retro and cool. Things are getting interesting.
でもさっき予算もないとか。
はい。
Mhm.
もちろん自
It's
分
a
は
hobby.
警察組織に法制度上は存在しないのですから、活動費用も警察予算からはおりません。自分は鎌倉警察署長の私費で賄われる人員です。署長の指示する任務を行うため、署長個人から必要な経費や装備を与えられています。
そういうことですか。
Which means the commissioner's doing everything he can under the circumstances. I don't know your name or face, Commissioner, but I'm sorry for thinking you were just another Rokuhara stooge.
それで港さんの任務っていうのは？さっきの話じゃ律の捜索ってわけでもないようですけど。
ぶしつけな質問でごめんなさい。
But I want to know too.
構いません。自分が風間さんの失踪について調査をしているのは、事件に無者の関与が見受けられるため。
All right.
え？
Came to the same conclusion.
自分の任務は銀星号事件の解決です。
That sounds like a pretty big side quest you're on there, bud. Nani? We all say dramatically. The massacres began about 2 years ago, when something started wiping out villages, towns, even military bases. The attacks occurred without warning or discernible cause, each leaving no survivors behind. When the authorities arrived in the aftermath, they find total devastation. Total. Every last person dead. Some of the victims are beheaded, others bludgeoned to death or split in half by some inhuman force. Some were even torn to shreds, as if someone ran them through a wood chipper. And for every victim whose wounds bear the mark of some monstrous warrior, there are a dozen who appear to have been slain by their own friends. Nothing remains but corpses and wreckage, with no sign, no trace of the force that brought such a catastrophe. Why did they die? What killed them? To date, there is no clear answer. There are, however, stories. I saw something fly away from that village. I saw someone walking away from the schoolhouse. I saw something silver shoot across the sky. Even Musha were killed. That can only mean one thing. And so the people of Yamato know that it exists. The Angel of Slaughter. The Reign of Death. The Silver Star. Genseigo. Genseigo is a force of nature, bringing death and destruction to all in its path. It is a wrathful god sowing disaster with nightmarish impartiality. Giant or dwarf, native or foreigner, lunatic or sane, Its nature changes with every telling. The only thing that remains consistent is the silver. Village, town, and fortress alike are destroyed by the same silver Musha, the Ginseigo massacres. In the 2 years since its appearance, Ginseigo has caused at least 7 such disasters across Kanto. Both Rokuhara and GHQ have launched investigations, but neither have shown results.
その銀星号を逮捕するっつうんですか？
Yep, just gonna put him in cuffs.
そのような平和的な対処が可能であれば喜ばしい限りです。しかしおそらく
It's like in the old Marvel comics where the police just fucking arrest Thanos for like causing mischief in his Thanos copter when he's after the cosmic cube.
いや、あるでしょうじゃなくて、勝てるわけないじゃないですか。
That is the truth, plain and simple. Rokuhara is Yamato's supreme fighting force, commanding all of the nation's Musha, and can stand against it, with one exception. Ginseigo, the invincible silver demon for whom even Rokuhara warriors are but prey. Despite Rokuhara's best efforts at quashing such rumors, it is whispered in dark bars and back alleys that Ginseigo destroyed an entire company of Rokuhara dragoons single-handedly. There's no way to be sure of this rumor's veracity, but the fact is that where Ginseigo is concerned, Rokuhara has never shown the same self-assurance with which they approach everything else. The mere hint of a sighting is enough to send their search team scurrying to the other side of Kanto and back again. It's almost like Rokuhara is afraid of Ginseigo. Because of this, some of the anti-shogunate factions consider Ginseigo a hero. Of course, it kills innocent farmers just as often as soldiers. Ginseigo! The stories are hard to believe, but if there really is a lone Musha that can defeat Rokuhara warriors with such ease, then that Musha is truly supreme. No one can defeat it. It's madness to try.
それとも銀星号の噂のほとんどは実は誇張だと？
いいえ。むしろ情報規制のため、市民の間の風説は実態よりもいささかおとなしいと言えます。
Oh. No way.
そんなのとどうやってその拳銃で戦うって言うんですか？
With a believing heart.
それは不可能かと。この銃は非公式の身分証の意味合いで貸与されているに過ぎないものです。
それじゃますます話にならないじゃないですか。
I mean, makes sense.
戦う力がなければどうにも。
He's not officially employed on the books, so he can't have a badge. So just a, I don't know, gun with an emblem on it's enough to, you know, get most people to play ball.
戦う力はあります。
あったって無駄ですよ。銀星号ってのは悪魔みたいなもんでしょ。勝てやしませんよ。
Tadayasu and Kanatsu say nothing, but I can tell that they're thinking the same thing. What, Ginseigo? Bullshit! If it were anyone else talking, I'd laugh it off as a joke. This guy's dead serious. That's obvious from the look in his eyes and the tone of his voice. He's gonna get himself killed!
なんで？
戦うべきだからです。
What? That's it?
いや、だから戦ったって
Gotta try.
勝てないのに。
戦わねばならない時、勝てるか否かというし。
そりゃ重要ですよ。だって負けたら意味がないじゃないですか。
はい。自分も、たとえ負けようが戦うこと自体に意味がある。スポーツならばそれでもよい。自分の戦いは違います。しかしそれは戦う決断をした後の話です。戦わねばならないから戦う。その決断に勝つか負けるかという計算は必要。自分には銀星号を止める責務があります。だから戦うのです。それだけのことです。
He delivers every word in the same dry tone, without the slightest glimmer of vanity. What is he saying? I want to understand. I need to understand. I must fight, therefore I shall. Those words, that resolve, they're what I've always...
年長者ぶって偉そうに話をしてしまいました。自分より年少の者を捕まえて船舶な人生観を語る若造ほど。
Yeah, you know, who doesn't want to look cool to the kids?
母に教えられていたのですが、恥ずかしい限りです。
つまり港さんは銀星号事件の専属捜査員で、律の失踪も関係があるかもしれないから調べてるってことですよね。
Maybe. Once again, I find myself envying Tadayasu's ability to control the flow of the conversation.
概要はそのようになります。
それって、律が銀星号の被害に遭ったかもってことですか？けどなんていうか、あんまり銀星号らしい事件じゃないと思うんですけど。
そうね。住宅地が丸々一つ壊滅したっていうならともかく。
I was thinking the same thing. All the stories make Ginsego sound like a natural disaster. A hurricane or tsunami. Doesn't feel right for it to go after one person.
銀星号事件といえば大量殺戮という印象がありますが、それは正確ではないかもしれません。
A lot of other smaller possible cases?
銀星号が集団を標的とした場合は、事件特有の異常性が際立ち、個人を標的とした場合は、単なる通り魔殺人と区別がつかないだけだとも考えられます。
I guess that makes sense.
ただ、おっしゃられることには同感です。自分も風間さんの失踪に銀星号が直接関与しているとは考えていません。
But there's an avenue of investigation, so we must follow it through.
というと？
申し訳ありません。
Tie off those loose ends.
これ以上はお話しできないのです。
ああ、そうですか。いえいえ、それじゃ仕方ないです。
Tadayasu waves his hands to show there's no hard feelings. I was surprised about how words. I was surprised by how readily he was answering our questions, but I guess there's a limit after all.
こう言っておきながら、誠に失礼ですが、皆様方のお話を改めて聞かせていただけないでしょうか。
構わないよね。
もちろん。
律の件を調査してくれるなら、願ったり叶ったりってやつだもの。
ありがとうございます。よろしくお願いします。
He nods his thanks. Man, this guy is way too straight-laced.
六原の奴隷貿易。そして、竹林に武者とおぼしき影。
Yeah, sounds pretty serious, huh?
役に立ちますかね？
はい、それはもちろん。
He reassures us that our efforts were not wasted, though I can't tell whether he's being honest or just polite.
実際のとこどうなんでしょう。そういうことはあるんですか？
奴隷貿易ですか？
はい。
奴隷市場というものが海外に存在するのは事実です。幕府がそれに着眼し、利用している可能性
But we don't have any hard facts either.
ないと断言はできません。
A careful answer. I guess he knows better than to jump to conclusions.
はい。
律は無事なんでしょうか？
わかりません。
わからないんですか？
Yeah, if he knew, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
はい。風間さんが何らかの事件に巻き込まれたことは、ほぼ間違いないと思われます。
No sense telling you, oh yeah, she's fine, you know, give you a potential false hope.
鮮明です。
Or, you know, the opposite.
風間さんの安否について、はっきりとしたことは何も申し上げられません。
Does not flinch beneath Konatsu's accusing gaze. His response is lucid, if cold, sticking to just the facts. He's nothing if not honest. A thoughtless adult would have told us not to worry, that everything will be fine, without considering what might happen when the hope he gave us is betrayed. This man's words can be trusted.
小夏、無茶なことを聞くな。
わかってる。ごめんなさい、港さん。
いいえ。自分の力不足に周知を覚えます。友人の身を案じるあなた。
Now then, we better get back on the beach and, you know, pick up some clues, huh?
穴があれば入りたい心境です。
降りましょうか？
お願いできますか？
いやいや、ちょっと待って。
Once again, Tadayasu takes a nice scene somewhere silly. He's friendly and good at that. But didn't Officer Minato really have to go along with it?
それで、じゃあ、港さんはこれからどう
He's
される
just
んですか？
very sincere.
無縁なと思われるでしょうが、 まだ捜査の方向を限定する段階には達していないと判断します。情報収集を継続することにな
We're
るで
getting
しょう。
somewhere, but everything's still way too vague. It's nebulous. Yeah, it does seem a little roundabout. But if you think about it, our Rokuhara theory doesn't have a shred of real evidence to back it up. Even the Lucius sighting is unconfirmed. Sure, a quick decision might help us now, but speaking objectively, I prefer cops who don't jump to conclusions.
ここ鎌倉では近年失踪事件が珍しくありません。あなた方の学校周辺に限定して差し当たってはそれらを洗い直し、状況の類似する事件がないか調べてみるつもりです。
じゃあ
はい。
その調査に俺たちを協力させてもらえませんか？俺らには土地勘があります。
Yeah, we can be your men on the inside. Give us give you the
役
unfiltered
に立てるはずで
facts.
す。道案内ができますし、誰かに話を聞くにしても地元民が一緒にいた方がいいんじゃないですか？警戒されなくて済みます。
My tone grew heated with every word, more heated with every word. Tadayasu and Konatsu remained silent, indicating approval. And yet, Officer Minato matches my pleading stare with that same stoic expression as before.
だからお願いです。
お気持ちには心より感謝いたします。ですが、お受けできません。
Yeah, you're just kids. Can't get you involved.
お話ししました通り、この件は銀星号事件との関連を疑われています。危険性は言うまでもありません。
危険は港さんだって同じでしょ？
Yeah, but this is his job.
自分にとって事件の解決は責務です。
律は仲間です。仲間を助けるのは責務ですよ。
いいえ。あなた方はまだ自分自身以外の何かに
Your
対して
responsibility is to go to school and get an
責任を負える年齢では
education.
ありません。あなた方に課された責任は事故の安全に配慮し、
Don't want to go biting off
ご
more
家
than
族
you
を
can
心
chew
配
and
させない
choke
こ
on
と
it.
です。友人を案ずる気持ちは理解します。しかし、同じようにあなた方を案ずる人もいるのです。
It's the whole, like, if you see someone drowning, but, you just jump in and go after them, but you don't have any of the skills, you're not trained in water rescue, you just end up with 2 drowning people.
その方々の心境についてご考慮ください。
Any kid has heard this lecture a million times. Still, we have no retort. If there were any other adults talking, we could put up a show of defiance, no matter how childish. But something about this man's attitude acts to quash such notions. It's because he's not talking down to you, he's just being
ま
real.
た年長風を吹かせてしまいました。
He rises to his feet in a single liquid motion. Up close, his height is even more distinct. He towers over us, but somehow doesn't seem imposing. Is it because his gaze is so tranquil?
ご協力に感謝いたします。聞かせていただいたお話は大変有意義でした。
はあ、まあお役に立てたのなら幸いです。
ですが、
The officer continues, his quiet gaze unshaken by Tadayasu's sarcasm.
自分に近づくことは危険です。どうか今後は関与を避けてください。
で、どうするの？
Konatsu asks as we walk together down the dark road
決
home.
まってんだろ。港さんの言っていることは正しい。
Mm-hmm.
だがあいにくと
Just
俺た
gonna
ちは
keep
正しいこ
doing
と
what
を
we're
受け入れ
doing
られ
and
ない
get
ガチン
ourselves
チョ
all
だ。
killed.
バカなものはバカなんだから仕方ない。
うわ、開き直った。タッチはある。
律探しは続けるぞ。できれば港さんを探し出して強引にでも協力したい。
小判ザメみたいな活動方針ね。
それじゃ役に立ってないだろうが。アリとアブラムシ的な共生関係を目指すぞ。
He's farming you guys?
それってどっちも害虫なんだけど。
明日からは根気と体力の勝負になるな。よく休んどけよ。
はい、
Mm-hmm. Gotta run over town and complete all our different side
ど
quests.
の道
Quests?
投げ出せるようなことじゃないしね。
Get our social links up, We keep walking. Home's just around the corner. But with that, that is where we're going to end it here for today. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell. See you guys all next time for the next episode of Full Metal Daemon Muramasa, where we will pick up with this investigation that's picking up a little bit of steam. But I gotta end this before my power goes out again, because now I'm scared and paranoid, and I don't want to lose an hour and 40 minutes of recording time, because, sucks enough to redo like 25 minutes of it, but, an entire evening's worth is, just depressing, and I probably just wouldn't do it until tomorrow. So once again, catch you guys later. Bye.